Pokémon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon have been announced. And instead of making another update video or analysis of the trailer, let's talk about it here and discuss what new content we would like to see in the games themselves that have yet to be seen in the original Sun and Moon games, as well as what could possibly happen in those new adventures. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon will be coming out November 17th. So get out those secret bags of cookies that you hide so no one else can get to them, as we get ready to jump back into the sequels of the Alola region, and just the general hype of a new main game popping up. Boy, am I excited, and I'm sure a lot of you are too. So without further ado, welcome everyone to the top 5 Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Insert title here. Oh wait, I forgot to change that. Number 5. Kalos. I'm putting this at number 5 as it's pretty unlikely, since if there were to even be a second region in this game, it would more than likely be Kanto. But being more than a 1% chance might not actually make it true. However, I think both would be amazing, not just because it'd be hyped to have a second region back in the games. The main reason is that X and Y did not get a sequel, so it'd be a great way to give a sequel to both the 7th gen and the 6th gen. Imagine finishing Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and having the credits fade out to Pokemon X, Y, and Z. Title pending. Where it doesn't have to be a full-blown game, but it could add a little more since Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon being announced makes it very unlikely that we see an X and Y sequel, unless they're doing them out of order to mess with us. They could also have you travel back to your home region of Kanto and be able to traverse and catch some Pokemon around there. But I think just having Kanto as your backstory and pushing on and moving to a third region would work really well. The problem with revisiting Kanto is that we already have Fire Red and Leaf Green, as well as it being a secondary region in Gold and Silver, and the remakes, as well as being their own original games. But you know what? Why not? Why not? If Game Freak lets us visit our character's hometown of Kanto in the new games, then we can have 5 different generations of graphics for the first generation. Because there are already 4. Wait. 4. That's why they didn't show us the games on that shelf. They're busy playing them to create a new Gen 4. Sinnoh region and Ultra Sun and Moon confirmed. Number 4. Mythical Pokemon Side Quests. This is something I've wanted for quite some time. Ever since we got the Generation 4 Pseudo Quest with Darkrai and Shaman, I'd love for there to be a really well thought out, story-driven quest that could introduce the new mythical Pokemon without just straight up downloading them or scanning a QR code. It'd also be great because it could be an actual challenging in-game quest that not only allows us to obtain the Pokemon, but also allows us to unlock a new area that could give us some more beneficial Pokemon choices that we might not be able to find elsewhere. This will reward players for diverging off the normal path and giving a simple reward for doing a side quest, in addition to the mythical Pokemon itself. I'd really love for it to also add a new city or area, sort of like New Moon Island, however with more substance and actually connecting to the map. Maybe being on one of the islands, or being its own island, but with a few towns or open fields that you'd be able to explore and battle against less common in-game trainers and team comps. Number 3. New Let's Play content. Get it? Cause new content for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Oh. Actually, number 3. New areas. Now, new areas can sound very straightforward, however, it's a topic I like to go more in depth with, as Pokemon sequels can tend to just be a more polished version of their predecessors with not too many differences. However, the main focus of any game that reuses the same region should be to highlight the good and improve the bad, while throwing curveballs at the player to keep them on their toes in a familiar setting. By that I mean, make it cool. Yo Game Freak, do some cool things. Alright, essentially what would be great is to really enhance Alola and make it feel like a completely different place to explore, while still maintaining the charm that the original Sun and Moon brought to us. Depending on where this game would fall into the timeline, whether it be a prequel or a sequel to the story itself, although it seems pretty likely that it'll be a sequel with the similar looking characters in same house, there could be many different changes to the places we've already explored to make not only the story become a completely different adventure, but the landscapes we traverse through as well. This could then translate into a different setup for how you would complete trials, as the areas could be diversified, as well as what you do in them. For example, maybe the volcano in Whale of Volcano Park could have erupted, and now the entirety of the surrounding area could have been updated to look more modern. Kind of like Cinnabar Island, except they actually fixed it. That's kind of tragic, but it would have new places to explore. Things like that could really set this game aside from other sequels and add a new feeling to the gameplay. Number 2. New Pokemon. Alright, this is always a top pick in a video like this, but when I say new Pokémon, I don't just mean new Pokémon in the game, I mean new Pokémon throughout. New Totem Pokémon, new team comps for important battles, new Pokémon for lunch, dinner, not breakfast though because I wake up at 3 p.m. I'm working on it. It would be great to see completely brand new Pokémon added into the sequel, as that has never been done before. However, it is unlikely. We do have the new Solgaleo and Lunala who look like they're being combined with Necrozma, so maybe we could have a few more Alola forms, similar to how Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire added new Megas. I'm not holding my breath for brand new Pokemon, but we'll see. New Totem Pokemon will be a main factor in changing up the gameplay and giving it a fresh new feel, because going through the same trials/Totem Pokemon might be a bit bland, and changing it up is honestly just an easy way to make players feel like they're doing something different. It'd actually be really interesting to see how they shape the entirety of the Alola League, as it was in its infancy during the original Sun and Moon games, which means they could possibly add in a new, never-before-seen challenge to this region, or any region for that matter. Well, again, because they did that when they introduced Trials. Number 1. New Trials. I did begin to explain this in the previous part, but that's just the ebb and flow of a top 5. Sometimes number 1 is a number 2, sometimes actually number 3 is a number 4, and sometimes number 3 is just in a far-off land chasing daisies and the occasional red moose. As I said, new Trials would really spruce up the games themselves, adding a new feeling to how we'd play the game and possibility of adding on to the story as the characters running the trials could be developed even further. The main factor that really appeals to me with this is that the league in the original games was just being built, so it'd be nice to see what it would evolve into over how much time passed between the games. They could choose to completely change up the league in Alola, or could follow us on our journey as the new champion, testing out their updated format. That would actually be an amazing new element to a sequel, as we could already be the champion, but starting anew to test out the evolving region. Overall, completely updating what we do in the trials and what we would battle against is something I would really look forward to, as I find this is the biggest way Game Freak could enhance the Alola experience in a sequel. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this look into Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. We'll definitely have more top 10s as updates instead of just making traditional updates, because I find it super fun. Hope you had some fun as well, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks again, and until next time, keep on catching!